There was an update and a new DLC for Starfield, and I thought, screw it, let's give them a whirl. This will be a quick and dirty little video about my 6 hours experiencing what is definitely not Starfield 2.0. The Free Lanes update adds cruise mode that lets you travel between planets in a star system, some new random space encounters, a space station with some quests, and other additions to the combat, crafting, and outposts. The main big thing that was advertised with this update was the cruise mode. It seems that Bethesda saw that a lot of people didn't like how you couldn't travel between planets in a system, and this is their attempt at addressing it. You activate cruise mode, target a planet you want to fly to, and autopilot will take you there. Very slowly. It takes around 25 to 35 seconds for your ship to get to top gear in cruise mode, and then you just have to wait for another 20 to 30 seconds to reach your destination. It's somehow more boring than a loading screen and takes way longer. You can get up out of the pilot's chair and walk around your ship to do nothing while this happens, so that's cool. I guess you could talk to some of your NPC crew if you have any, but I would rather go to the dentist than do that. There are anomalies you can find while cruising, and some of them can even pull you out of cruise mode. Cruise mode doesn't work well around planets. Every planet has an invisible wall around it, stopping you from getting too close. If there is a planet between you and your destination, it awkwardly bumps you around the invisible wall. It looks terrible when this happens. Any sort of immersion you get flying through space breaks down as the game tries to shuffle you around the planet. Cruise mode feels like a very poor way of addressing the complaints about space travel in Starfield. They added something that's practically a longer loading screen, except now you have the chance of being attacked by space bandits during it. It's like they wanted to add the random events between point A and point B from their other games like Skyrim. But unlike Skyrim, there are no visuals or strong accompanying music to make the simple act of going from place to place somewhat interesting. In cruise mode, it's just a blur of space flying by and nothing else. You can't even run from the random bandits. At one point I had to go to the new space station, Anchor Point, and to reach it I had to use cruise mode. I was forced out of cruise mode and had to fight in a pointless battle between space pirates in the UC. Cruise mode works under the fast travel rules and is not allowed during combat, so I had to destroy the pirates if I wanted to leave and get back on track. It never happened to me, but I wonder what does happen if you're attacked by space bandits while walking around your ship. Most of my playtime with Starfield was before this update, but if cruise mode had been available, I would have avoided it like the plague, only using it when I was forced to, which is what I did for the 6 hours I played the update. Anytime I could just fast travel to a location, I did so, because holy crap, please don't make me cruise to a place. Unfortunately, much of the update and DLC forced using cruise mode, almost feeling like Bethesda was going, you want free travel in space? Here you go, now you'll use it and you'll like it, you little shits. There are a bunch of other little things in the update that I didn't touch, like updates to the outposts. I didn't care for settlements in Fallout 4, and I don't care about them now in Starfield. Another new addition was more modifiers for enemies. One of them is Tank, that gives the enemy 3 times more health. That one got a chuckle out of me. Yeah, that's exactly what they needed, more health to chew through. Along with the Free Lanes update comes the paid Terran Armada DLC for the price of $10. The Terran Armada has appeared to terrorize the settled systems with their army of robots, and I guess it's up to the Starborn to stop them. I played the whole DLC and oh boy was this a giant piece of shit. In brief, don't buy it. In fact, don't buy Starfield. In longer terms, it feels like it's on the same level as the worst Fallout 3 DLCs. On the same tier as a Mothership Zeta. It's mostly combat, and combat, and combat, with the thinnest veneer of plot layered on top. The DLC is 3 quests strung together by Radiant quests in between. The first quest has you helping in the search effort for a space cruise liner that was attacked by the Terrans. Upon finding the ship, you don't call it in or wait for help. You, as the Starborn TM, single-handedly go aboard and look for clues. You find a Terran robot you reprogram, and he becomes your companion. Delta might be the most boring robot companion in video game history. Emil Pagliarulo described him as not evil, but definitely not good, and I have no idea what he means. The robot barely has any personality at all. He's vaguely rude to the player, calling you the auxiliary human, and acts snarky, I guess. Like a discount diet watered down version of HK-47 from Knights of the Old Republic. Completely forgettable. After this, you get introduced to the Radiant quest the DLC adds. Terran Incursions. The Armada will attack star systems and sometimes lock down FTL travel out of them. You use cruise mode to fly to the location of Terrans, you fight a few of their ships, then board their vessel/space station. Inside, it's just another dungeon. You shoot hordes of Terrans and their robots, grab the quest item, then activate the self-destruct and escape. It's nothing interesting or new. The Terrans themselves are just more mooks. They don't fight differently, their robots are just as brain dead as all of the other enemy AI in the game. The robots themselves are a huge disappointment as they are just reskinned human enemies. They don't have their own set of animations and will flinch and react to being shot the same way a human does. $10 and they couldn't even be bothered to make some animations for these guys? Lazy, lazy, lazy. I have to do 3 incursions to get the next quest. Not wanting to waste my time, I just spawned in more of the quest items. Now I have to go and find a roboticist that the Terrans are forcing to work for them. It's another dungeon. I fight my way through the factory and rescue Dr. Carrot Top and take her back to Void. Void are the group you're working for in the DLC. They are a trio of officials from the big nations that meet in the basement of a bar on a backwater space station. Void is a tortured acronym for Veterans of Interstellar Deployment. This useless gaggle of morons will contribute nothing while you, the player, does all of the heavy lifting to defeat the Terrans. And you do have to defeat them. There is no option to side with the Terrans or anything. Having rescued the roboticist, I am rewarded by having to do 3 more Radiant incursions. I spawn in the quest items and move on to the final story quest of the DLC. Yes, outside of the endless Radiant incursions, you get 3 quests and it's done. The final quest has the player in a strike group taking on the Terran flagship, the Unifier. I shoot shield thingies and then cripple the ship before boarding. I fight through the length of this mighty warship. A warship that has a glass-paneled section. Don't worry, it's Gorilla Glass. I mess up the reactor and head to the bridge to finish things. The Terrans barely have any lore. They are a worse version of the Gunners from Fallout 4. Here, at the very end of the DLC, I talk to the only named Terran NPC I encounter. Admiral Ladyperson is mad at the government and plans to annex the entire settled systems by force. I spend like a minute talking to her, getting the only context for what the hell the Terrans are even doing. This character is so forgettable, I can't remember her name a minute after meeting her. What was even her name? Without looking at her body. Admiral, did it start with an E or an N? Admiral N something, Admiral, no, was it a B? Like Bozara? Enzoro? Admiral, her name was the janitor, put some respect on it. Admiral, I'm gonna say E. Fuck, it was B. Shit. This attempt at plot is too late and pointless, so I just say fuck it and start a fight. I shoot all the people on the bridge, and then the robot guy gives me the final choice. You can force an update to the robots that will destroy the chain of command, but make the robots hostile to any humans, or you can not do it. This lets you end the incursions if you want. There is an attempt at making this some sort of moral choice, like innocents will be hurt by the robots, but the Terrans already seem to just kind of go around shooting people, so whatever. Either way, outside of keeping the incursions or not, I doubt there are any other effects from this choice. I had a really vain hope that there was going to be an option to take over the robots and become the leader of the Terrans, but come on, who am I kidding? Once the Unifier is destroyed, I head back to Void, they pat me on the back, and hand me some cash. Dr. Carrot Top was really pissed at me for messing up the robots, but she's barely a character, so I didn't give a shit. It felt like the devs were trying to shame me for my choice. How dare I not want more amazing Radiant quests? With that, the DLC ends, and I'm left with 6 hours wasted and my wallet $10 lighter. What a great experience. Nothing in the update or DLC does anything to fix the issues I have with Starfield, but I didn't expect it to. The problems like the miserable combat with bullet sponges, the terrible quests that make no sense, and the awful world building are too fundamental for a simple update or DLC to fix. These would require massive overhauls to change into anything better than what they are. Before the update was announced, there was a lot of buzz that Bethesda was working on a colossal update for the game. People started to speculate that it was going to be an overhaul on the level of Cyberpunk 2077's 2.0 update. Todd Howard himself had to come out and quash these rumors, going on to say that the update was for those that already love Starfield, whoever that might be. Seeing the update firsthand, I understand why they wanted to temper expectations. This is nowhere near a Starfield 2.0. I wonder if there was a bit of panic at the company with these rumors. Like if they went, oh shit, the internet thinks this is going to be a huge update. Quick, get Todd out there to say that it's not. We can't have any more bad press for this game. But I suppose that, for once, Todd didn't lie. Truly, this is for those dozens of people that love Starfield and nobody else. If you're considering reinstalling the game for this update, or even thinking about buying it or the DLC, don't. It's not worth it. Starfield alone isn't worth it. And the extra $10 for a DLC that amounts to more Radiant quests is a waste. There are better games, new and old, out there that you can spend your time on. Despite its many flaws, Cyberpunk 2077 is a much better game than Starfield. If you want more space sci-fi, Mass Effect is an amazing game with a much more fleshed out world. If it's exploration you want, go play No Man's Sky instead. In summary, Starfield is still a bad game. The Freelanes update does very little to change or improve the game, and the Terran Armada is up there for possibly the worst DLC Bethesda has ever had the gall to charge money for. Stay far away and play better games.